ladies and gentlemen, let me tell y'all something. You can't make a woman obsessed with you if you don't even know who you are. See a lot of fellas out here trying to impress women, chasing them, begging for attention, thinking that's love. That's not how this game works. A woman doesn't fall for your words. She falls for your energy. You ever walk in a room and everybody turns their head? That's confidence. That's presence. That's power. You don't need to say a thing. Your aura speaks before your mouth does. Confidence is the magnet that pulls her in long before you even open your mouth. See, a woman can feel your confidence before she ever hears your words. You can walk into a room and not say a single thing, but your presence, your energy will do all the talking for you. That's what confidence is. It's not about being loud. It's about being sure. It's that quiet power that says, I know who I am. I know what I bring to the table. When a man carries that kind of energy, a woman can't help but notice. She might not even understand why she's drawn to you, but she'll feel it deep in her spirit because confidence speaks louder than charm ever could. Now here's the truth. Most men think confidence comes from money, looks, or status. Nah, man, that's surface level stuff. Real confidence comes from knowing yourself, loving yourself, and not needing validation from anyone else. It's the way you handle rejection without breaking, the way you stand tall when life hits you hard, and the way you keep believing in yourself when nobody else does. That's what makes a man magnetic, because a woman isn't obsessed with your possessions, she's obsessed with your energy. She's drawn to that unshakable calm that says, I got this. You ever notice how some men walk into a room and command attention without trying? It's not the suit, it's not the watch, it's the posture, it's the eye contact, it's the way they speak slowly, deliberately, like every word has weight. Confidence isn't arrogance, it's assurance. Arrogance says, I'm better than you. Confidence says, I'm comfortable being me. And that comfort is contagious. When you're sure of yourself, she feels sure around you. She feels safe, and safety, my brother, is what keeps her coming back. A woman's attraction is emotional before it's physical. You can be handsome, you can be fit, but if you carry insecurity, she'll feel it. Women are intuitive. They can read your confidence the same way you can read their body language. That's why you can't fake it. Confidence isn't a performance. It's practice. It's how you talk to yourself when nobody's listening. It's how you handle failure without losing faith. It's how you treat people who can't do anything for you. That's real power, and that power radiates. Confidence also shows up in how you lead. You make decisions without hesitation. You don't ask for permission to be yourself. You move with purpose. A confident man doesn't beg for attention because his energy attracts it naturally. He doesn't chase approval because he knows his worth. And when a woman sees that kind of man, she can't help but lean in. She'll want to understand what fuels that confidence, what makes you so steady in a world full of insecurity. So, fellas, confidence isn't about talking louder or flexing harder. It's about owning your truth, walking in your purpose, and standing tall no matter what life throws at you. When you master that, she won't just notice you, she'll be drawn to you. Because a man who's truly confident doesn't have to chase obsession. He becomes it. Purpose makes you powerful, and that power is what makes her obsessed. Every woman wants a man who knows where he's going because purpose gives direction, and direction gives security. See, when you wake up every day chasing something meaningful, something that fuels your soul, you automatically become magnetic. You don't even have to try. Your energy shifts, your focus sharpens, and your presence changes. A man with purpose walks differently, talks differently, and lives differently. He doesn't have time to chase distractions because he's too busy chasing destiny. That's the kind of man women can't get out of their minds. A man with no purpose is like a ship without a compass. He's moving, but he's lost. And when a woman sees that, she might entertain you for a little while, but she won't stay. She wants to feel like she's stepping into a life with direction, not chaos. She wants to know that if she stands beside you, you'll lead her somewhere better. Purpose is leadership. It's confidence with direction. It's the quiet conviction that says, I know why I'm here and I know where I'm going. When you live like that, you don't have to chase love. Love comes looking for you because a purposeful man is irresistible. You see, purpose gives you discipline. It makes you focused. You stop wasting your time on people and situations that don't serve your mission. You stop begging for attention because you're too busy building something worth paying attention to. A man who's chasing purpose doesn't need to prove himself. His results do the talking. He's not living for likes, validation, or quick wins. He's living for legacy. That's why a woman will look at him and think, there's something different about this man. She can sense that his life has meaning, and that meaning is what draws her in deeper than looks or words ever could. And here's the truth. Purpose makes you emotionally stronger. When you're living in alignment with your mission, you don't fall apart when life gets hard. You don't lose yourself when someone leaves because your happiness isn't built on another person. It's built on progress, and progress keeps you alive inside. That's attractive. That's sexy. A woman falls for that kind of energy because she knows you're not just another man floating through life. You're a man building something, and that fire inside you, it makes her want to be part of your journey. But don't get it twisted. Purpose isn't just about career or money. It's about passion. It's about what drives you when nobody's watching. It could be your family, your dreams, your growth, or your faith. Whatever it is, it gives your life structure. And structure is stability. A woman can trust a man with structure because he's not moved by temptation or emotion. He's grounded. He's consistent. That's why when you live with purpose, she'll think about you even when you're not around. You'll occupy her thoughts because your life stands for something bigger than just romance. You become the kind of man who inspires her, challenges her, and stays on her mind long after the conversation ends. And that's when you know you've made her obsessed. Emotional control separates men from boys, and that's one of the most powerful traits a woman can't resist. See, when a man knows how to control his emotions, he automatically stands out in a world full of people who react to everything. A man who can stay calm when things get chaotic, who doesn't let anger, jealousy, or insecurity take over, becomes a rock in her storm. And that stability is rare. A woman might be drawn to your looks or your charm at first, but what keeps her interested, what makes her obsessed, is your ability to stay composed no matter what's happening around you. Most men make the mistake of thinking that showing too much emotion will make a woman feel closer to them. But here's the truth. Emotional control doesn't mean you don't feel. It means you don't let those feelings control you. A woman wants to feel safe in your presence, not responsible for calming your storms. When she sees you handle stress with grace, when you respond with logic instead of frustration, she realizes she's dealing with a man, not a boy. Boys explode, men observe, boys react, men respond, and that difference right there makes her heart pay attention. See, when you're emotionally controlled, you don't chase after someone who's pulling away. You don't blow up her phone trying to prove your worth. You don't crumble when she tests your patience. Instead, you breathe, you pause, and you let your energy speak for you. That's powerful, because a woman will always test a man's emotions, not because she wants to break him, but because she wants to see if he's steady enough to hold her world together. When you pass that test, when you stay calm and confident, she starts to trust you on a deeper level. She starts to crave that peace you carry, because peace is addictive in a world full of chaos. Emotional control also makes you more mysterious. When you don't react right away, when you take your time to think before you speak, you leave her wondering what's going on in your mind. That mystery makes her curious, and curiosity turns into obsession. She starts to replay your reactions, your tone, your silence, trying to figure you out. And the more she can't predict you, the more she wants to understand you. That's emotional intelligence in action. It's not about hiding emotions. It's about mastering them. A man who controls his emotions also controls his environment. He doesn't get dragged into drama. He doesn't fight pointless battles, and he doesn't give power to negativity. He chooses peace, and that choice makes him powerful. Women admire that because it shows maturity. It shows growth. It shows that you've been through life, but life hasn't broken you. That kind of man doesn't beg for love. He attracts it effortlessly. He becomes a safe space, a calm presence, a source of strength. And when a woman feels that, she can't let it go. She becomes drawn to that serenity because it balances her emotions. And that's how emotional control turns into connection, and connection turns into obsession. Communication with clarity is one of the most powerful tools a man can use to make a woman truly connect and eventually become obsessed. Most men don't understand that women listen not just to your words, but to the intention behind them. When you speak with honesty, confidence, and purpose, you create trust. And trust, my friend, is the foundation of emotional attraction. A woman falls in love with how you make her feel when you speak. If your words bring her peace instead of confusion, assurance instead of doubt, she'll always want more of you. See, clarity in communication isn't about saying a lot. It's about meaning what you say. Every word you speak carries energy, and when that energy is pure and direct, it draws her in. A man who knows what he wants and expresses it clearly stands out from the crowd. So many men talk in circles, play games, or send mixed signals, thinking it'll make a woman chase them. But confusion doesn't create attraction, it creates frustration. You want to show her that you're decisive, that you're sure about who you are and what you're after. When you say, "This is what I want," and your actions back it up, she sees strength. Women respect a man who can communicate without fear, who isn't scared to be vulnerable but still holds his ground. That's confidence in motion. Clarity also means honesty. Don't sugarcoat. Don't promise what you can't deliver. Women have a natural instinct for sensing lies, and the moment she feels you're not being real, she pulls back emotionally. But when you tell the truth, even if it's uncomfortable, she'll remember it. Because truth builds respect, and respect is the seed of obsession. A woman will always value the man who speaks from his heart and keeps his word. Another part of communication is listening. You can't connect if you don't hear her. When you really listen, not just to her words, but to her tone, her silence, her emotions, you make her feel seen. And every woman wants to feel seen. It's not about fixing everything she says. It's about understanding her perspective. When she realizes you care enough to listen deeply, she starts to open up. And once a woman opens her heart to you, she's emotionally invested. That's when she starts thinking about you constantly because she feels emotionally safe with you. Communication with clarity also shows emotional maturity. When conflict comes, and it always does, how you talk during that moment decides everything. If you can keep your composure, express your feelings calmly, and still listen to hers, you become unforgettable. That's because most men either shut down or blow up. But a man who can express himself clearly without losing control, that's rare. And rare men are the ones women can't stop thinking about. So speak your truth with strength. Say what you mean what you say, and back it up with action, because clear communication isn't just about words. It's about consistency between what you say and what you do. And when your words match your actions, she'll trust you completely. And that trust, that emotional connection, will keep you in her mind and in her heart long after you're gone. Consistency builds trust, and trust builds the kind of bond that turns into obsession. A woman can be drawn to your charm, impressed by your confidence, or moved by your words, but what truly captures her heart is your ability to show up again and again with the same energy, the same effort, and the same integrity. See, anyone can be good for a day, a week, or a month, but consistency separates a man who's serious from one who's just playing a role. When a woman sees that your words and actions align over time, that's when she begins to feel something deeper. She starts to relax in your presence because she knows what to expect from you. And that kind of predictability in a world full of empty promises, that's powerful. Most men start strong, then fade away once they think they've won her attention. They text less, they show less effort, and they stop doing the little things that mattered in the beginning. But here's the truth. Women remember everything. They remember how you made them feel on the first day, and they notice when that energy starts to disappear. Consistency tells her that you're not performing, you're genuine. It shows her that your intentions are real and that she's not just another phase in your life. When you keep showing up the same way, she begins to trust you not just with her time, but with her emotions. And once a woman trusts you emotionally, you're in her thoughts even when you're not around. Consistency isn't about doing grand gestures all the time. It's about the small, meaningful patterns that show reliability. It's about checking in when you say you will. It's about keeping your promises even when it's inconvenient. It's about treating her with the same respect whether you're in public or behind closed doors. That's the stuff that sticks because to a woman, consistency equals security, and security is what every heart secretly craves. It's not money or status that keeps her loyal. It's the peace of knowing she can count on you. When you're consistent, you build emotional rhythm. She starts to sync with your energy, your tone, your pace. She starts to trust that you're not going anywhere. That stability makes her feel safe enough to be vulnerable, and vulnerability is the foundation of deep attraction. When she feels that, she becomes emotionally invested, and that's when obsession begins to grow, not out of desperation, but out of connection. She's not addicted to you because of what you say. She's addicted because she feels something solid, something real. Consistency also reflects character. It means you're disciplined. It means you don't let moods or circumstances decide how you treat people. And that level of self-control commands respect. A woman admires a man who doesn't waver with the wind, who stays grounded no matter what's happening around him. When she sees that steadiness, she stops comparing you to other men because she realizes she's found something rare. A man who keeps showing up is a man who stands out. And when you do that long enough, she doesn't just love you, she depends on your presence, your energy, and your effort. That's how consistency turns admiration into trust and trust into obsession. Mystery keeps her intrigued, and intrigue keeps her thinking about you long after you've left the room. See, one of the biggest mistakes men make is giving everything away too soon, every thought, every emotion, every move. But a woman's attraction grows in curiosity. She wants to discover you, not be handed everything on a silver platter. When you keep a little mystery, you make her wonder. And when a woman wonders about you, she invests her thoughts, her imagination, and eventually her emotions. That's the beginning of obsession. Mystery isn't about playing games or being cold. It's about having depth. It's about having layers she can't read all at once. It's about being open enough to connect, but guarded enough to stay interesting. See, when a man has mystery, he doesn't overshare. He doesn't tell his entire life story on the first few dates. He lets time reveal who he is. He answers questions honestly, but not completely. He leaves room for a curiosity to grow. Women love to explore emotion, and a mysterious man gives her something to explore. Every look, every pause, every word feels intentional. She starts paying attention to details, how you move, how you think, what you laugh at, because she's trying to figure you out. And the more she tries, the more she invests. That investment turns into attachment, and that attachment becomes fascination. Mystery also comes from independence. When you're always available, always responding instantly, always accessible, you remove the thrill. But when you have your own life, your own purpose, your own schedule, it sends a message. You're not desperate for attention. You have things going on. You're busy building yourself. That distance makes her chase. It makes her want to be part of your world because she senses that you're not waiting for her approval. You're living for something bigger. That quiet detachment is magnetic. She'll start thinking, what's he doing right now? Who's he with? What's on his mind? That curiosity keeps her energy focused on you. Mystery also means emotional balance. You don't reveal every reaction or feeling right away. You stay calm, composed, unrateable. A woman is drawn to a man she can't easily predict. If she knows how you'll react to everything, the story becomes boring. But if you stay unpredictable in a grounded way, she'll stay intrigued. Maybe one day you're deeply affectionate, the next you're focused and reserved. That emotional rhythm keeps her guessing, and that guessing keeps her attention. A mysterious man also carries silence as strength. He doesn't feel the need to fill every moment with words. He's comfortable letting silence speak for him. That kind of stillness feels powerful. It draws her in. She